Hello, y'all. Um, it's Candy Grand Prix again. So, this video, I want to talk about. Okay, first of all, I want to say, well, I know that some people want to remain private, so thank you for the $10. That's enough probably for 2 meals, and so if you don't want your name mentioned, I respect that, but thank you. You know who you are. So, anyway, this video, I want to talk about, okay, excuse me, the last minute, uncontrollable yawning, sorry. So, I'm surprised and glad they let me sleep last night. I think I slept, um, at least 6 hours. Thank you for letting me sleep. So, my other sleeping bag that I haven't used, the green one, I used it for the first time last night. And it seemed like it was more comfortable and had more cotton and more padding inside of it than the yellow and gray one. So yeah, I mean they both are the 30-degree sleeping bags. But hell, last night it was almost 70 degrees and I still was freezing cold, like very cold last night, even with the sleeping bag. But then the temperature dropped, but I felt warmer for whatever reason throughout the middle of the night. But earlier it was so cold and felt humid and cold and very windy. But later on in the night, it got cooler but felt warmer to me. I didn't feel as cold for whatever reason. So anyway, this video is a hard topic to talk about, but it's necessary. Um, I'm surprised I'm still here. I'm still alive. I haven't gone anywhere. But there was a targeted friend who told me that, you know, I had a couple other people who told me, who said that they're targeted, and they told me, that they were feeling suicidal and wanted to give up. And, sometimes they even go as far as deciding to not even want to have faith in Jesus Christ anymore or the Bible anymore, and just want to give up everything and have their minds made up. And so I don't want to go too much into detail. It's personal and private. I respect that. But I know a while back I saw another person did a video somewhat similar, and they do. I've even been told, why don't you go kill yourself? I'm not going to. But like other so-called targeted individuals telling each other, and then fake TI perps and perps, trying to tell you should go and kill yourself or you should go and off yourself. And I'm glad I don't get V2K, but V2K telling people go kill yourself, go off yourself. So the program, they try to manipulate you into attempting suicide or trying to commit suicide. You know, Trust me, I've been there numerous times. So I'm like, oh, so that's what the game is. So that's what the plan is. So our daily battle is a true targeted individual, especially who's being heavily targeted and persecuted. It's like the daily battle to fight to stay alive and endure to the end. You know, um, and not give up. It's so difficult though. It's so hard. And it's like even yesterday and the day before, past few days, they've been targeting me so heavily, and it's like, wow, they're really trying very hard to get me to commit suicide or attempt suicide or even think it, and so I'm still here, and they're just waiting for that opportunity, and they're rubbing their hands. They're rubbing their hands, waiting with the deceitful looking smile on their face, waiting for either one of us, because they want to cash in and make money. They want you to do it yourself, just like Bill Gates wants the 90% of the masses to kill ourselves. They said the COVID-19, wearing a mask or whatever. When you wear the mask, it makes you have those exact same symptoms, plus 5G cover up too. 5G symptoms is the exact same COVID-19 symptoms. If you wear the mask all day, every day, you have those exact symptoms of that diagnosis. So I'm trying to breathe free air, but people who faithfully and religiously wear a mask, I mean, people who religiously wear a mask, those are the ones who get sick faster, the ones who social distance and stay at home, whatever. But me, I don't wear a mask, but when I have my own place, I stay home anyway. But people who don't get sunshine and stuff like that, and I try what I can to eat healthier. But people who eat the standard American diet and feel like they have to go to the doctor, they have to do this, they have to do that, and all the TV commercials just feeding them nothing but repetitive advertisements of the mainstream, repeated over and over again, consumption of, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, Popeyes, whatever other junk food out there, whatever other Illuminati destructive commercials. They promote sex. Of course, they say sex sells, and they just promote human destruction, watching all that dog on TV and listening to some people just like to pick on TV, but they forget about the music to listen to, newspapers, books to read, and everything that will brainwash and poison the human mind and soul. And they're manipulating and brainwash you to self-destruct. So, the gang stalkers, that's what they try to do to us targeted individuals, to try to manipulate us into feeling cornered, into where we feel like we have no other option but to just off ourselves. But then they gang stalk us even harder when we don't cave in. And it's either two things. Well, one main objective is they want our souls in hell, right along with theirs. Either join them or die. So they want you to either join the Illuminati or they want you to go kill yourself. Well, you know what? If you physically kill yourself, well, you'll just be dead. But if you join the Illuminati, you spiritually kill yourself. But both of them are just as bad as the other, but they don't want us to be neutral or be neither, and still trying to fight for our lives and trying to spread the gospel, the real, true gospel, not the fake multiple millions of the broad many ways to hell. The true righteous Christians or whatever. They even have a lot of so-called Christians who have, taken their lives. And so many fakes and phonies and narcissistic abusers in church, witches, warlocks, and Freemasons, they're all in your church. Jezebel spirit, trying to manipulate you into destroying yourself and then laugh while you do it. It's like they're trying to get you to do it, and it's like they try to make you feel all alone and feel like you have no hope, like there's nothing left, and make you like certain people will wonder if there is a such God as real, where is he? Feeling like they're feeling like hopeless and stuff, you know. And so, and then adding on to being a quote unquote mental patient, diagnosed and court ordered to be forced against your will to see a psychiatrist, and they want to make sure the medicine's in your system, making sure that they do tests to see if it's in your liver. And remember what I said about the foster mom during my teenage years, said that she wanted to have the psychiatrist put me on a psychiatric medication that would destroy my liver and kill me. So the psych medication, it is poison. I'm going to say the psych medication is poison. And those medications make you suicidal. They make you crazy. They make you homicidal. Trust me, I've lived that life, that forced life against my will. And, you're forced against your will to take Prozac at 10 and 11 years old. And I'm sitting here 10 and 11 years old pulling knives on people, choking people at 15 on Luvox. And I hate it. It's dangerous because I don't want to be violent. I don't like to be violent. But, they put you on these medications that make you crazy. And then not knowing the truth, being blinded to the real truth and putting a cult and stuff, it just make things worse. So, they hurt me so horribly the past couple of days. It's like, wow, they're really trying to get me to do this. Especially after talking to the other targeted guy. And it's like, sometimes it seems like when two targeted people talk to each other, they make one have the same experience with another. Like, if I tell a targeted friend on the phone that the gang stalkers try to run me over with their vehicle, then a targeted friend that same friend will call me up like 3 or 4 days later and said that they're doing the same thing to them. If if I tell another targeted friend, well, damn, they started to vibrating again. Then a few days later, they come and like, well, Candy, guess what? They vibrated me too. So if I say that, oh, so many red cars passing by, then the other person called me up and be like, well, guess what? So many red cars been passing by me too. Just using for example, but true examples, because, well, not the red car thing, but, or the vibrating, but definitely, certain different experiences and vice versa. If, they're making another targeted person, if they're making their hand shake, then next thing you know, a few days later, they got my hand shaking, for example, or it's just very weird. And it seems like they attack us harder when two targeted people are talking, or they ramp up the noise harassment, or if I'm watching a YouTube video of another targeted person, these freaking librarians up in here, they ramp up the talking loud, like super loud with unimportant conversations. And then once I stop watching the video and get frustrated and put back on my music here, not music, my waterfall sounds here, the white noise, that's when they be quiet and go back into the other room or something. And I'm like, well, this is very synchronized, and this, like the young guy here who recently decided he wanted to turn against me. When he opened the doors this morning, and he didn't tell me shit. He didn't acknowledge me or nothing. But the other white people who came here, he was all excited and in their face, like, oh, how you doing today? But you bitches see me every fucking day. And I told him hello, and then he finally said hi. But if I hadn't said anything, he wasn't going to say anything. And that black obese bus driver with the glasses, he went back to perping me, acting like a perp. Like I told him thank you when I got off the bus, and he said absolutely nothing. And I got off the bus just feeling bothered by that. I'm like, damn, he's back to perping me again. But it's like this bus driver. If you see him, you'll see he ain't shit, and you would think he looks hideous. But then all the women be kissing his ass and be all in his face, and he's popular and well liked, but he's a freaking perp. And then when he does it, he'll leave at exactly 7:33 in the morning to pull off from the downtown station. And or today he left at 7:35, and he'll do stuff like stand right outside of the bus. And some of the bus drivers, quite a few of them, stand right outside of the bus and smoke the cigarette, and all the cigarette smoke get all the way from the front to the back of the bus. And I'm like, well, you might as well smoke inside the bus if I can still smell it. You standing just like right directly out the door, and I can, and all the cigarette smoke, when you take your doggone break, it goes all through the bus. With the fake, crusty, dirty, satanic, evil, gay cigarettes, So it's like they had a perp bus driver who's not the normal military bus driver that was supposed to take me downtown. And guess what this bitch did for the first time in a long time? Has a bus driver, I didn't realize it was part of the gang stalking, that the bus drivers, that they deliberately, when you get off the back door, even the front door, they deliberately stop the bus at directly in front of a trash can, a pole, a mailbox, like those blue public mailboxes, or a tree, or a pole or something like that. And so she dropped me off in front of this, I think it was a tree, like directly directly by the tree, on purpose, so that I don't even like to touch anything on the bus, even with sitting on the seat with my OCD and everything. So it's like I was supposed to be expected to squeeze out of the doors, between the doors and the freaking the tree or whatever downtown. In New Orleans and Los Angeles, the bus drivers used to do that all the time, and I didn't understand. And then they would get an attitude and refuse to pull up some. Like, all it takes is but they do it because they want me to be irritated. But they do that deliberately and then make it like as if they can't pull up some. But they know how to accommodate other people with disabilities and stuff. Like, and the bus drivers, they refuse to pull down the lift thing for me. And I have to struggle and take a high step up on the bus. And I don't know, they just make everything so difficult. So, I just don't freaking understand. I really hate this. And then sometimes with the gang stalkers, they will inconvenience a whole entire bus full of people just for one person. But I didn't know it was part of the gang stalking back then, But let me get off the topic of bus drivers and this other stuff, and let me just go back to talking about the suicidal thing. Like, I was wondering, what's a good way if you don't want, we know how the system is. We know that the police, paramedics, hospitals, doctors, whatever, none of them are on our side. We don't want to get other targeted individuals committed to the mental institution. We don't want to get them locked up in a mental institution. We don't want to call the crisis hotline for them. And we don't want to get them in any kind of trouble. But other than praying for them, if they feel like they just lost all hope and faith and everything, what can we do? What words can we say? What can we do to talk them out of it if they know that that's the goal of this program? what can we do to talk them out of it, or what can we do physically to help them, change their mind, because the last thing that they want or need to hear is a lecture or being told off about themselves, or somebody trying to preach to them, or but it's like at the same time we just pray for them, I guess after they get off the phone, after you get off the phone with talking to them, you know, I don't even know of any solutions of what we can do to help prevent them from wanting to do stuff to themselves. But it's like they've been perping me so badly and hoping, especially Stars 15K, been hoping that I would, try to do something to myself. And I'll say this, other targets have told me, and I feel the same way myself, that my own twin sister had been, threatening suicide herself on purpose to manipulate me. And she said that she had already attempted because of me. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm speaking the truth on everybody in this gang stalking and my targeting. So somebody told me this like last night, and I read the email this morning, that that my twin sister makes certain facial expressions of a liar, so that he could tell she was lying. Plus, her throwing up the Illuminati hand signs, said it all. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, what? This is the other half of me doing this? But my own twin sister, when she lied to everybody on Twitter and turned all the targeted people, a lot of targeted people were against me anyway, the so-called community. But, when she said, oh, Candy's not being gang stalked, she's just manipulating y'all. And so she said, nobody's trying to murder you, dumbass. Like on Twitter, she was saying that. And then she was trying to talk like she was suicidal. And then she said, why don't you go ahead and go drink bleach? Suggesting that I should go and drink bleach. But these perps give themselves away. And that's why me and my twin sister couldn't get along all these years, because she was perping me and she sold out. So I don't want her to do anything to herself. But it's like she's trying to manipulate and try to silence me from speaking the truth about everything and everybody. And she has a whole slew of videos talking about me, specifically me. And, nobody's shunning her. But if I kept talking about her, then, I'd get attacked. So it's like really crazy what's going on. And Stars 15K and my twin sister working together. Stars 15K is also working together with Alex and Vice Handler. Oh, they're hitting me in my right foot with the energy weapon, trying to hurt my foot while I'm talking. So, and I can't believe that, just like everybody, it's a dog eat dog selfish world, and everybody thinks that the other person other than themselves is better off dead, while they can have the world to themselves rather than sharing the world with other people. That people would rather see you gone and eliminated and treat you like you're not welcome on the face of this earth, or like you deserve to be punished just for existing. So, we don't want to get another target individual committed to the mental institution. I don't even want to touch the mental health system no more. So, I just need my personal help advice on how I can help another targeted person who's feeling that way. If a lot of us have felt that way and have made attempts on taking our own lives in the past. And then so you've been there and done that, and you're traumatized by your own suicide attempts and scared to even do that again. And, if a person's that suicidal that they quit believing in God, and then they say that they don't even believe hell is real, and that, they'll take their chances, and no, what are you doing? So Um, because you don't feel like you don't want to see another person go to hell. When you're trying to, I mean, if somebody had the word and they were Christian and just all of a sudden decide to give up on all faith and just feeling like continuing to expose gang stalking is just useless. They feel like they're tired of praying. They're tired of, feeling like God is not doing anything. Um, I don't even know what's the best way to handle if you can't go to the police, you can't go to the mental hospital because they'll murder and sacrifice you. When I attempted suicide in 2010, a week later, the staff in a mental hospital in Denton, Texas, at UBH, Universal Behavioral Health, they try to kill me later on. I mean, so they can mock and laugh at you and be like, well, you try to kill yourself, so why can't we try to kill you? But I didn't realize the side effect of Cymbalta medication. The side effects of Cymbalta is suicidal ideation, or they try to make you commit suicide. The medication, and that's why I say there's a doggone demonic spell, witchcraft spell behind all those psychiatric toxic medications that make you sicker and try to kill you. And it's this part of depopulation, the Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and so some people agree. They're sick people who agree with the depopulation. And I say all the time, if you feel like there's too many people on the face of this earth, if you feel like the earth is too crowded, I think you should take yourself out first, because you'd be the number one person who would try to fight tooth and nail to protect your existence on this earth. If you say if somebody try to take you out, but yet you feel like, oh yeah, it's too many people on this earth, who is another human, a satanic human being, to have that authority to determine or dictate that there are too many people on this earth? So, look up the Georgia Guidestones again, and the Illuminati, and the depopulation, eugenics. Look all this up. So we do best to try to fight to stay alive and pray and read the Bible and, try to fight to get closer to God as much as we can and try to help and love our neighbor, even though it's so hard. And it's very hard to overcome. It's like a very hard thing to love and forgive your gang stalkers who are continually hurting and destroying you every day and just rob you even from a simple sip of water to drink. We just keep hurting and hurting and hurting you, and then everybody feel like you deserve to be hurt and destroyed. So this is the part of the freaking game. So I'm sorry to sound repetitive or like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but I just wish that if somebody can in the comments section give me some tips on how I can better help other targeted people who come to me telling me that they're suicidal and stuff like that. And I'm going to also post in the description box the link to the video of me talking about targeted individuals being mocked and encouraged to attempt or commit suicide, while the occultists who set you up and your family members or whoever want a life insurance or trying to get you for human trafficking, organ harvesting and sacrifice and stuff, those are the same people who they're trying to make money off of your sacrifice. They want to profit off of your death and get even richer for you to die, whether you're murdered or suicided. So if you drive, I say it again, and I'm going to put that link too. If you try to do whatever you can to drive another person to attempt suicide, and that person end up being suicidal, killing themselves, you got blood on your hands, and you will answer to God at the judgment